Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you hear me in the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Frank Joshua, it should be Joshua Frank, I think. Joshua Frank, file number, we don't have the file number at this time, actually. Counsel appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Sartz IV, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Frank. For this limited appearance, I'm appearing by Zoom this morning.
Okay, you're Joshua Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Frank, today is the date that we're going to proceed with an arraignment. I have a misdemeanor complaint here. The complaint does allege that on or about March 16, 2024, at the area of 920 South Washington Avenue, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly, contrary to law, commit the act in count 1 of domestic violence. The allegations that you made an assault or an assault and battery upon a Carla Frank, an individual with whom you have a child in common, or a resident or former resident of your household, or an individual with whom you have a dating relationship. This was contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.812. It's a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and $500 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Do you understand the charge read in count 1 and the maximum penalty?
I do.
Okay. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and Mr. Sartz is going to represent you today solely for the purposes of your arraignment. You do have the right to have an attorney to represent you at each criminal appearance during this prosecution. You also have the right to be represented by counsel if you're going to be questioned by law enforcement. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the public defender's office appointed at the expense of the public. Are you understanding your rights as it relates to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, or you can plead not guilty, or you can stand mute. If you stand mute, the matter will continue all the way to a jury trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. You're innocent, sir, until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecutor to prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine, which means question any of the witnesses called to testify against you at your trial. You have the right to have witnesses subpoenaed to testify on your behalf, or you can waive your right to silence at your trial and testify on your own behalf. You also have the right to present evidence that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. You have the right to require the prosecutor to prove each element of domestic violence at your jury trial beyond a reasonable doubt before you are deemed to be guilty. Do you understand that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of those rights?
I didn't commit an assault on my wife.
Sir,
Okay, I wasn't asking if you had a defense. I wanted to know if you had a question about any of the rights that I just went over with you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Sartz, is he requesting representation by your office?
yes, Your Honor. And respectfully, Mr. Frank will stand mute, and we request the court enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Thank you.
The court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, and also note that he is requesting court-appointed counsel. I have an address for him at 920 South Washington Ave, apartment 2K. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that also the address of Carla Frank?
It is.
Okay, well, you won't be able to stay there if that's where she stays during the pendency of this matter. So where will you be staying?
I'm gonna go to the rescue mission, ma'am. It's a homeless shelter right on Michigan.
Okay. Do you have a phone number?
I do.
What is it?
I don't remember the number. I just gotten the phone, but it is in my possession.
Are you employed?
I am.
Where?
Dimitri's Restaurant.
You're currently scheduled to have a pre-trial conference before Judge Stacia Buchanan. It's scheduled for April 1st, 2024 at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can appear in person or by Zoom for that, okay?
Yes. That's
Are you
at the Veterans Court, right?
No, that's the same building you're actually in right now. I'm just on the 6th floor and Judge Buchanan is on the 6th floor, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you'll come to City Hall, 6th floor, and you'll go to courtroom 2 if you're coming in person, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, I'm not.
Do you have any other court cases pending?
No.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't have access to Mr. Frank's lien, but from what I understand from Mr. Frank, I believe he doesn't have a previous criminal history. He's lived here about 20 years and he has a good, stable job in the community. I don't think he's a flight risk. Mr. Frank understands the no contact order. He'll stay away from Carla Frank as this case continues. He'll follow with all the court's orders. He'll make sure he shows up to all his future court dates. Respectfully, I will ask for a personal recognizance bond on his behalf if he's legally eligible for one. Thank you.
Thank you. I see actually, 3 previously charged matters, 2 of them being domestic violence, but there's been no convictions on his record. A bond will be set in the amount of $500 personal recognizance. While out on bond and even while in custody, you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with Carla Frank. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to cause anyone to have third-party communication with Carla Frank. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're not to reside at the address located at 920 South Washington, so long as Carla Frank is residing there, and you're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever she is. I will allow you to go once with law enforcement should you need to get items like your clothes or medication or personal items, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, while you're on bond, you're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs that you don't have a prescription for. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. And you're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You need to report to all of your court dates, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get your notice to appear as well as the Zoom instructions for Judge Buchanan's courtroom?
You say go in person or Zoom in?
You have the option of appearing via Zoom or in person for your next court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you get notice to appear though?
I did get a notice to appear.
Okay,
I believe
you're all
so.
set then. Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's for that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's an order to appear right there.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Daniel Gonzalez. Counsel appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Sarts IV, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez for this limited appearance. And I'm appearing by Zoom this morning. Thank you.
To remove that. I'll wait.
Are you Daniel Trevino Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, today's the date. We're proceeding with a arraignment. I do have a felony complaint here. And it alleges that on or about March 16, 2024, at the area of South Cedar Street and Paris Ave, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly commit the act in count 1 of weapons carrying concealed. The allegation, sir, that you did carry a dangerous weapon, that being a pistol, whether concealed or otherwise in a vehicle operated or occupied by said defendant, that being a Dodge Nitro, and that this was contrary to Michigan compiled law 750.227. Count 1 is a felony and the maximum penalty is 5 years or $2,500 in fines, and there's a mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device required under the law. Count 2 is weapons, firearms possession by prohibited person. It states that you did possess or transport or carry a firearm when ineligible to do so because you had been convicted of home invasion first degree, a specified felony that is punishable by imprisonment of more than 1 year, and the requirements for regaining eligibility had not been met, contrary to Michigan compiled law 750.227 224 F6. That is a felony. Maximum penalty 5 years and or $5,000 in fines. Mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device is required under the law for count 2. Count 3 is weapons felony firearm. It alleges, sir, that you did carry or have on your person or possession a firearm, that being a pistol, at the time that you allegedly committed or attempted to commit the felony of weapons, firearms, possession by prohibited person. And this was contrary to MCL 750.227B. Count 3 is a felony. The penalty is 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. And again, a mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device is required by law. There's an habitual offender. Fourth offense notice. It says take notice that the defendant was previously convicted of 3 or more felonies or attempts to commit felonies, and that on or about April 29, 2015, he was convicted of the offense of operating while under the influence of liquor, third offense, in violation of MCL 257.6256D in the 30th Circuit Court for Ingham County, State of Michigan. And that on or about March 26, 2013, he was convicted of the offense of controlled substance possession less than 25 grams in violation of Michigan compiled law 333.7403-2A5 in the 56th Circuit Court for Eaton County, State of Michigan. And that on or about December 14, 2006, he was convicted of the offense of OUIL, third offense, in violation of MCL 257.6252D in the 30th Circuit Court for Ingham County, State of Michigan. Therefore, the defendant is subject to the penalties provided by MCL 769.12. That would enhance your penalty to life if the offense has a penalty of 5 years or more. 15 years or less if the primary offense has a penalty under 5 years. The maximum penalty cannot be less than the maximum term for the first conviction. Your primary offense does have a maximum penalty of 5 years or more, so it enhances your maximum penalty to life. Do you have any questions about the charges or the maximum penalty?
I have a question about I think it was count 2 or something. It said something about a home invasion or something.
Your count 1. I'm sorry, count 2, you're correct. It says count 2, weapons, firearm possession by felon. It states that you possessed a firearm when you were ineligible to do so because you had previously been convicted of home invasion first degree.
Oh,
Is that
okay,
what you have a
okay.
question about?
Yeah, that I understand now. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. So you have a few rights. You have the right to be represented by counsel, and Mr. Starks is going to represent you today for your arraignment, and you've met with him prior to us going on the record. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at each criminal appearance during the prosecution of this matter. You have the right to be represented by an attorney if you're going to be questioned by law enforcement on this matter. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the public defender's office appointed to represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You can plead not guilty, or you can stand mute. If you stand mute, the matter will continue to a jury trial. You have the right to have a preliminary examination because you are being charged in this matter with 3 felonies. You have the right to have the preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date. You have the right at the time of your examination to require the prosecutor put forth evidence that would establish sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed, and then probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crimes being brought against you. Do you have any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You're currently scheduled for a probable cause conference before me, Judge Kristen Simmons. It's going to be March 28th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. You may appear in person or via Zoom for that preliminary. I'm sorry, it's the probable cause conference. You can proceed via Zoom for, or in person. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, your preliminary examination is before me. That will be in person, and that's going to be on April 5th, 2024 at 8:30 in the morning. You should have received a notice to appear and Zoom instructions for my courtroom. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you're going to appear via Zoom for your probable cause conference, you must have video. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have the right to proceed to a jury trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So, sir, you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecution prove your guilt at your jury trial by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine in court any of your accusers and witnesses called to testify against you. You have the right to call your own witnesses or put forth evidence at trial that you believe show a defense to the charges being brought against you. And you can waive your right to silence at trial and testify on your own behalf. But if you do invoke your right to silence at trial, you cannot have that silence be used against you. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Starks, is he requesting representation by your office?
Yes, Your Honor. And respectfully, Mr. Gonzalez will stand mute, and we request the court enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Thank you.
I will note that here on the file. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, what's your home address?
1514 North Jennison, Lansing, Michigan, 48915.
Are you employed?
Self-employed. I do painting for some side contractor guy. So we do like home in-home repairs. But it's not like a actual like where I get a paycheck and taxes taken out of it like that, but it's just something that I do to keep some income coming in right now.
Gotcha. What's your phone number?
517-202-9454.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, ma'am.
Did you used to live in Ohio?
No, ma'am. I had what I think I might got a ticket or something out of Ohio for speeding or something. We was on our way to North Carolina. That might be something if you got Ohio, something about Ohio when I got pulled over. Like I want to.
I see a little bit more than that in Ohio. I see that you were charged with some drug charges there.
In Ohio, no, that's not me. I promise you, that's not me.
What year were you born?
7284.
Yeah, it's coming up as you, sir.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I've only been through Ohio one time, and that was on my way to North Carolina. I caught a speeding ticket. That's the only time I've ever been in Ohio.
Well, you might want to have your attorney help you review your criminal history. Because the records we have show an extensive criminal history in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard that before. I've never lived in Ohio.
It's much too long for me to even go over and today's time period. It's multiple pages long.
Yeah, that's new to me, Judge. I've never stayed in Ohio. I've lived in Lansing my whole life. I've never stayed anywhere outside of Lansing.
This is not yours.
Oh, wow.
There's an extensive Michigan history here as well. Okay. How often do you miss court, sir?
Not too, I don't miss court. I usually I be on my dates. I be on top of my court dates.
Okay. Okay. Who was with you at the 1514 Jennison?
Excuse me?
Who resides with you at that address, 1514 North Jennison?
Me, my girlfriend, and our kids.
Is your girlfriend Selena?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. You're not gonna be able to stay at the address listed at 1514 if that's where she stays. I'm issuing a no contact order
Okay.
between you and Selena. So where are you gonna stay?
I'll probably stay with my brother on Miller Street. I'm not sure of the address.
You said Willard Street?
Miller. Miller.
Okay.
That's on south side, South Lansing.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excuse me. Oh,
Thank you, Your Honor. Respectfully, I request a personal recognizance bond on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez if he's eligible. He's not a flight risk. He has plenty of roots in the community. As he's explained to Your Honor, he's lived here his entire life. He'll comply with all the court's orders. He'll stay away from the person that you're going to impose a no contact order with, Your Honor. He can stay with his brother. He does have work that provides him a source of income, albeit it's under the table, but still, he does have those obligations. He has a couple minor children that he also provides support for. So respectfully, while the charges certainly are serious here, at least his current counts, they're non-assaultive in terms of their general depiction of them. Perhaps, of course, there's more to the alleged situation here, especially if a no contact order is warranted. But still, at this point, Mr. Gonzalez will make every effort to comply with the court's orders and will show up at all future court dates. And I will respectfully request a personal recognizance bond on his behalf. Thank you.
Okay. I will tell you this particular complaint doesn't exactly coincide with some of the things that was indicated in the affidavit to support the complaint. But that is the reason that in the basis for the no contact order, and I don't know if it's the prosecutor's office's intention to address how this is charged later. I'll leave that to them. But until I'm told otherwise from the prosecutor's office, I think it's appropriate to issue a no contact order in the place for the protection of a Selena. I don't see where they gave me her last name.
The last name is Applewhite.
How do you spell that?
APPLEWHITE.
Okay. I thank you for that. That will be noted here. You're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever she is. You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with her, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
There's also an individual by the name or listed in the affidavit as a victim of Tiffany. It doesn't give last name, but she must be someone associated with the Selena. And that person will also have a no contact order in place. You're not to talk or be in communication with Tiffany as well. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. While out on bond, you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess or use a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, drugs without a prescription. I am going to order GPS tether. You need to provide the court with an address that you're going to be staying within 24 hours of your release. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours, and how you report to pretrial services can be provided to you from the jail, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have one question about the GPS tether. Now, like if I bond out or I'm released, do I go to the courts and get the tether put on, or they put it on before I'm released?
No, you're gonna get that before you're released.
Okay.
Okay, any additional questions?
No, ma'am, that's it.
My apologies, Your Honor. What is the bond amount again?
10,000 personal recognizance with GPS tether.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're all set, sir.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And income.
Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tommy Kelso, file number is 21-02492, counsel appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Starks IV, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Kelso for this limited appearance. I'm appearing by Zoom this morning.
You're Mr. Kelso?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Kelso, I do have a misdemeanor complaint here. It alleges that on or about February 16th, 2021, at the area of 615 Morris River Drive, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly commit the act in count 1 of domestic violence and the act in count 2 of domestic violence. Count 1 alleges that, and count 2 both allege that you made an assault on assault and battery. In count 1, it's against a Candace Fletcher, and count 2 against an Elijah Fletcher, both individuals with whom you reside or former resident of your household, or individual with whom you had a dating relationship or a child in common. Count 1 and count 2 may result in restitution being ordered upon conviction, as those offenses may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. And both count 1, count 2 are misdemeanors. Maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Do you understand both charges in both counts and the maximum penalties in both?
Yes, I hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by an attorney, and Mr. Sarge is representing you today for your arraignment purposes only. You do have the right to be represented by an attorney at all of your court appearances during the prosecution of this matter, and you have the right to be represented by an attorney if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request for the public defender's office to represent you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. If you stand mute, the matter will continue to trial. And you do have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence, so you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecutor to prove your guilt at your jury trial. They would have to prove each element of each of the charges being brought against you of domestic violence beyond a reasonable doubt at your trial. You have the right to remain silent at trial, not have that silence be used against you. You have the right to waive your right to silence and testify, where you can present evidence at trial or subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. You also have the right to question and cross-examine any of the witnesses the prosecutor calls against you at your trial. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, ma'am.
You're currently scheduled for a pretrial conference before Judge Tony Flores. It's going to be April 1st, 2024 at 9 o'clock in the morning. You can appear in person or via Zoom for that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get your notice to appear and Zoom instructions?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Starks, is he requesting court-appointed counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, and respectfully, we request the court enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Mr. Kelso will stand mute. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then Mr. Kelso, I have an address of 323 Moores River Drive for you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that the address of Candace or Elijah Fletcher?
No, we stayed in 615 Morris River, but they wasn't fixing up the house a few years ago. So I ended up having to pay for them to get my family moved out of that house to another situation. So and that's how they not in the area no more.
Okay, so they don't live at the 323 Moores River?
No, they don't live at 615 Morris River. We live
No,
in
my
615
question,
Morris River.
my question was, do they live at 323 Morris River with you?
No, no, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am. Work at a adult foster care, Eden Prairie. Work third shift from 11 to 7 a.m.
You said Eden Prayer?
Eden Prairie.
Prairie, okay. What's your phone number?
517-878-7385.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, ma'am.
Okay, now people of the state of Michigan versus Tommy Kelso, file number 24-00471 SM. And in this matter, Mr. Kelso, the allegations are that on or about January 19, 2024, at 3215 Hepburn Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, you allegedly committed the act in count 1 of domestic violence, and that you did make an assault or assault and battery upon a Lakila Ship, an individual with whom you had a dating relationship contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.812. And that's a misdemeanor again, maximum penalty 93 days and or $500 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. You have a free trial on that domestic violence charge before Judge Flores as well, and that's going to be April 1st, 2024, 9 a.m. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
People of the state of Michigan versus Tommy Kelso, file number 23-01927. This matter, sir, I have a misdemeanor complaint. It alleges that on or about June 5th, 2023, at 1121 Cooper Ave, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly commit the acts in count 1, 2, and 3 of assault or assault and battery. They allege that you did make an assault or assault and battery upon the following persons, Jessica Cortez, and that this was contrary to MCL 750.811. Restitution may be ordered in each count as these offenses may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are all misdemeanors, maximum penalty in each 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. Again, a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assaults were committed in a place of confinement. You have a pretrial on that matter also before Judge Tony Flores, April 1st, 2024, 9 a.m. So you should have received 3 notices to appear for Judge Flores. All the rights that we went over would apply to these. So the court will enter a not guilty plea on each of these files and a request for court appointed counsel on each of these files. Do you have any questions, Mr. Counsel?
No, ma'am.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Respectfully, I request the court consider a personal recognizance bond on behalf of Mr. Kelso. If he's legally eligible, he has a stable job in the community. It appears that he has a safe place to stay away from the complaining witnesses here. He's not a flight risk. He'll abide by all the court's orders. He'll make sure he shows up for his court dates. And respectfully, given his circumstances and to the best of my knowledge, and I don't have access to his lien, he only has a limited criminal history outside of these current charges. I respectfully request a personal recognizance bond. Thank you.
I reviewed his prior criminal history. There were no convictions, but as you can see, we have three charges here. One issued in 2021, one issued in 2023, and then now 2024, all of which have allegations of assaultive actions against 4 different people. You do have the right to remain silent, but you can waive that right and speak.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually do anything to none of them. Like, it
Sure.
was just all.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay, thank you for that. Again, I have 3 charges, 3 files that is all assaultive. 3 separate years, but 4 separate alleged victims. So the court is concerned that there is some level of threat to the public safety, which is one of the factors the court has to consider. And so I don't believe that there's been a situation where he would not appear in court, although he doesn't really have much of a criminal history for the court to assess that. So I think this is a situation where no contact orders would sufficiently address the concern about the public safety. File number 23-01927, your bond is set at 1,000 personal recognizance. There is a no contact order in this file. I'm protecting Jessica Cortez.
And Jessica got fired from the company.
Sir, please.
I apologize.
You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with Jessica Cortez.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see here. File number 21-02492. There's a no contact order being placed in the matter for the protection of both Candace Fletcher and Alasia Fletcher. You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with them, nor can you be within 1,500 feet of wherever they are, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, number 24-00471SM. The court will enter a no contact order in place for the protection of Lakila Ship. You're not to have contact directly or indirectly, and you cannot be within 1,500 feet of wherever Lakila ship is, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand what indirect contact means?
Yeah, just stay as far away from them as possible, even if they trying to contact me or whatever.
Well, correct. Indirect contact could also mean you're sending a message to these people. You can't get a message to them. You can't communicate with them in any form or fashion. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior while you're on bond. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to report to all of your court dates. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot leave the state without getting approval from the court first.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about your bond conditions?
No, ma'am.
Did you receive your notice to appear for all three files?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, file number 21-02492, bond is set at 500. Personal recognizance, again with the no contact order. And file number 24-00471, bond is set in the amount $500 personal recognizance with a no contact order. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're all set, sir. I found the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brandon Butts. File number is 23-03088. Counsel appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Sars IV, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Butts for this limited appearance only. I'm appearing by Zoom this morning. Thank you.
Are you Brandon Lee Butts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Butts, I have a felony complaint. It alleges that on or about August 13th, 2023 at 1822 Ray Street. That's located in the city of Lansing in Ingham County, state of Michigan. It alleges that you in count one committed the act of assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. It alleges that you did make an assault upon a Nicole Ruiz by strangulation or suffocation, contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.84. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 10 years in prison or $5,000 in fines. Your DNA is to be taken upon arrest, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Count two of domestic violence alleges that you did make an assault or assault and battery upon a Nicole Ruiz, a resident or former resident of your household, or an individual with whom you had a dating relationship, and this was contrary to MCL 750.812. Restitution may be ordered in count two as that offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property, physical injury, or death to another individual. Count two is a misdemeanor, maximum penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There's a habitual offender third offense notice. It says, take notice that the defendant was twice previously convicted of a felony or attempt to commit a felony, and that on or about November 14, 2012, he was convicted of the offense of unarmed robbery in violation of MCL 750.530 in the 30th Circuit Court for Ingham County, state of Michigan, and that on or about February 19, 2018, he was convicted of the offense of larceny 1,000 to 20,000 in violation of MCL 3563A in the 17th Circuit Court for Kent County, State of Michigan. Therefore, the defendant is subject to the penalties provided by MCL 769.11 that enhances the penalty to twice the maximum sentence on the primary offense or a lesser term. The maximum penalty cannot be less than the maximum term of the first conviction. Do you understand each charge read here and the maximum penalty, including the habitual offender third offense notice, which does enhance the sentence on your maximum penalty? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Sarts is going to represent you today for your arraignment. You have the right to have an attorney with you at all of your court appearances to represent you. You have the right to be represented by counsel if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the public defender's office appointed at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You can plead not guilty, or you can stand mute. You have the right to have a preliminary examination in this matter because count 1 is a felony. You have the right to have that examination within 21 days of today's date, unless you waive that timeline or the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21-day timeline. You're currently scheduled for a probable cause conference before Judge Cynthia Ward. It's March 28th, 2024 at 8:30 in the morning. You may appear via Zoom or in person for the probable cause conference. You have a preliminary examination scheduled before Judge Ward in person at the court, April 5th, 2024, 8:30 in the morning. Did you get a copy of your notice for that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to require the prosecution to put forth evidence at your preliminary examination that would establish probable cause sufficient that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crimes. You have the right to a jury trial, and you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So that means you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecutor prove your guilt at trial by proving each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You can remain silent at that trial and not have that silence be used against you. You have the right to waive your silence and testify at your trial if that's what you choose to do. You have the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses in court that are called against you to testify. You can subpoena witnesses to testify on your own behalf or present evidence at your trial that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. Do you have any questions about those rights?
Ma'am.
You have the right to require the prosecutor prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Mr. Sarts, is he requesting court-appointed counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, and Mr. Butts will stand mute, and we respectfully request the court enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Mr. Butts, I have an address for you at 3501 Simkin Drive in Lansing. Is that accurate?
Yes, apartment 8.
8?
Yes.
Okay. Does Nicole Ruiz live there?
No, ma'am.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you employed?
I do carpentry work. I work at a place called Heart Trust.
What's your phone number?
313-434-4524.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
Oh, ma'am.
Do you have any other matters pending?
No, ma'am.
Okay, counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Respectfully, I request a personal recognizance bond on behalf of Mr. Butts if he's eligible. To the best of Mr. Butts's knowledge, he does not have any other pending proceedings, any other holds, any other matters that would prohibit him from potentially bonding out. He has a stable job in the community. He has a good job. It pays him reasonably well. He provides support for 4 minor children. He's not a flight risk at all. He'll follow through and comply with all the court's orders. He has a safe, stable place to stay that's away from the complaining witness here. And while the charges are serious, concerns about public safety or concerns about making sure that the parties keep their distance can be addressed through the use of a GPS tether or other types of devices. And that would alleviate concerns about public safety as well. Respectfully, Your Honor, I request a personal recognizance bond on behalf of Mr. Butts. Thank you.
Okay, I do have a bond recommendation here from the Ingham County Prosecution Office. They have a concern for the protection of the public under MCLA 765.6 because the crimes alleged or charged involve violence towards another person and that the defendant allegedly has a history of violent behavior towards or directed towards the victim, and that the victim was the defendant's intimate partner. It states here other factors with the risk of lethality in the domestic violence situation include escalation of violence or risk taking over time. It states that the defendant allegedly strangled the victim to the point she felt she was going to die. Then he threw bleach into her eyes. The people are requesting a $50,000 cash surety bond. I reviewed his prior criminal history, which he does have some prior history with the criminal justice system. I do believe that these are very serious charges. And I believe that there is likely the potential for some risk to the alleged victim, but I don't believe that that's a risk that can't be addressed without or without a tether. So the court will, and also I should note that the age of the case being from 2023, August 2023 of the alleged incident. I'm going to grant the request for a personal recognizance bond. Bond will be set in the amount of 10,000 personal recognizance, but with GPS tether. And you're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever Nicole Ruiz is, okay?
Okay.
You're not to have any contact with her at all. No contact of any kind that includes third-party contact, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to use alcohol, marijuana, or illegal controlled substance. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. And you need to report to all of your court dates, and you need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about your bond?
No, ma'am. When you say report to pretrial services, where do I report? What's that?
We have a phone number for you.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have another question?
Oh, that's it.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
And you come to me.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Nikki Marie Lopez. File number 23-03638, counsel appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jacob Sarts IV, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Ms. Lopez for this limited appearance. I'm appearing by Zoom this morning.
Okay, Ms. Lopez, today this is the date that we're addressing a PA 53 violation, which is considered a violation of your pretrial release order. You are under a bond order before Judge Flores, is that correct? You have a pending domestic violence charge?
Yes,
Okay, and you were arraigned on that matter. There was a bond or pretrial release order in place. It stated while out on bond, you were not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol, marijuana, or any controlled substance, that you were not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You were not to have contact indirectly or directly with the alleged victim. You were to wear a GPS tether with victim notification. Do you have your tether?
yeah,
Okay, and it
Yes, ma'am.
also indicates that you were not to engage in any assaultive behavior. I do have a police report from March 16, 2024, approximately 3:28 in the morning, with allegations that you violated those bond conditions. A, by operating while under the influence of intoxicating liquor, and then also allegedly violating by resisting an officer. And so you have the right to have a contested hearing. A bond violation is considered a contempt of court order, so you would be facing up to 93 days in jail and or $7,500 in fines if you're found to be in violation of your bond. Do you understand that?
yes, ma'am.
Your bond could also be revoked pending the domestic violence case that's currently being prosecuted before the court if you're found to be in violation of your bond conditions. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at any hearing for the violation of your bond. Mr. Sarge, does she already have a public defender on that matter?
Yes, Your
Yes.
Honor. 23-03638 SM. She's represented by John Lee.
Oh, is that assigned to my court?
Yes.
Yes, I believe it is, Your Honor.
Okay, does she want to plead not guilty to the violation?
Yes, please, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. The court will enter plea of not guilty. The matter will be set for a hearing on the bond violation. You'll get that date of hearing in the mail, because the court is not open today, so we can't set your date today, okay?
Okay.
Okay. What's your address?
2508 Leisner Street, Lansing, Michigan, 491.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is she also being arraigned here on the new charges, or did they dismiss those at this time?
My understanding, at least, I don't see another file. This is a matter, I believe that I did a warrant for blood yesterday, so she would not be proceeding on that. And I've not seen anything for police officer resisting obstructing, unless I missed something.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Respectfully, at this time, I would request the court consider an interim bond for her. It's a fairly quick turnaround here. From what I understand, she's scheduled for jury selection in only a few days. She's not a flight risk. Certainly, she'll show up to all her court dates. From what I understand, she's had some pretty good communication with her current counsel. She'll certainly appear at all her future court dates, and she'll comply with all the court's orders. So, I mean, she's presumed innocent regarding the new allegations, and certainly, at this point, it's a circumstance where this is all pending and possibly under further investigation. So, respectfully, Your Honor, I would just request that the court consider an interim bond for her at this time. Thank you.
Okay, bond's gonna be set at 500 personal recognizance. All your previous bond conditions from the domestic violence, including the no contact order, the GPS tether, will continue. You, however, will be ordered to undergo random testing 2 times per month, pending your hearing on the bond violation. And then we'll see you at your next court date. Do you have any questions for the court?
Ma'am.
And I believe
Say
that
no,
next
ma'am?
court date, yeah, I believe that next court date is on the 19th, Your Honor. I believe she's scheduled for jury selection.
That's right.
Okay. She's scheduled for jury selection before my court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, well then we will see you on the 19th. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, you're all set, ma'am. That's all I have.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.